Good morning, guys. Today I'm doing something super fun. I always do this once a year. I'm summiting the mountain called Pfeifferhorn. I haven't looked up the exact elevation. It's somewhere in the 11,300s. But it's about a 9-mile hike round trip. It's pretty gnarly for the last mile and a half. It's a type 3 scramble, I think, with some maybe type 4s. I always do it at least once a year. The first couple years that I did it, I would do it probably a couple times a year, like 3 or 4 times. So I have a lot of experience with it. It definitely does get a little bit easier the more you do it and you know what to expect, but I definitely wouldn't call it easy. Based on the scramble in it and the distance and the steepness, I'd say it's a pretty hard hike. Now, if you're one of those trail runner people that can just trail run straight up a mountain and gain 5,000 vertical feet that fast, then it's gonna be no issue for you. There's people like that, I know people like that. But if you're just a hiker that loves hiking or summiting mountains, it's one of the more difficult ones in my opinion. But the views do not disappoint. It's incredible. I think it is one of the most beautiful, dramatic mountainscape scrambling. And then it just goes straight up. They also call it Little Matterhorn after the Matterhorn mountain that's in, I want to say Switzerland. I might have butchered that. It might be the Himalayas. I'm not sure. But it's going to be super fun. I'm leaving my house right now at 8:50. You got to go to Little Cottonwood Canyon, and then it's about 5 miles up the canyon on the right before Snowbird, about a mile before Snowbird. White Pine Trailhead is where you go. So I'm gonna take you through step by step. You can watch this video just to see me summit the mountain, or you could watch this video just in case this is a mountain that you've always wanted to summit and maybe you didn't know all the ins and outs of the hike, if you could do it by yourself, blah, blah, blah. I'm doing it by myself today, as always, so you'll see that if I can do it, you can do it. So here we go. Okay, so there's restrooms at the trailhead, and this is where you start. There's a little bit of info here. Some of the cool summits and trails. Let's see. We're going here. Pfeifferhorn. Long. Here we go. So we're gonna go to the Red Pine Junction first, and then I'll show you guys where to go from there. Here we go. White Pine is that way. Pfeifferhorn's this way. Okay, already about a mile and a half in. Look at this stunning view. Like I said, it's a little smoky and smoggy, unfortunately, but look at this view. Is that incredible? Beautiful. Gonna keep on keeping on. I put my jacket on because it's a little chillier than I thought. I definitely could take it off now that I've been hiking so fast uphill for a while, but it's nice and cool, perfect hiking temps. Perfect. So, some interesting facts while I'm walking. You can see the orange reddish color in a lot of these rocks, which signifies iron. This canyon has been heavily mined for gold and silver in the late 1800s and the early 1900s. Now, iron and all heavy metals, in fact, all elements past what I want to say is 26 on the periodic table. I could be off on that, but that's what I remember. They were created during the Big Bang. They were created during the Big Bang, which was 13 billion years ago. So, Earth has been around for 4.5 billion years, and all the iron and heavy metals come from deep down in the earth below the crust, and they precipitate up through hydrothermal vents, faults, stuff like that. There's a lot of faulting and hydrothermal vents in Little Cottonwood Canyon, which this canyon is. So there's a lot of silver and gold. Like I said, it was heavily mined. It isn't anymore. You can find a lot of abandoned mines. But it's interesting to see the iron, the signs of iron and sulfur in the rocks, because sulfur, you know, is a yellow color. And like, look at this, for example. Let me switch to red and orange. That's all precipitated iron coming down from groundwater and staining the rocks. I actually did a research study one canyon over in Big Cottonwood Canyon, where I went to abandoned mines and collected samples to prove that most of the silver in Big Cottonwood Canyon that was mined came from hydrothermal vents, which it did. Hydrothermal vents through cracks in the crust, or faults and fractures. There also was a lot of volcanic activity over there back in the day, and this entire canyon, as you may know from all the granite, has a lot of metamorphic history. Look at all that. So all those things are sign for silver, and when I did that research study, I found a lot of sulfur, and you can think of sulfur and silver as magnets. Silver doesn't precipitate by itself. It usually always precipitates with sulfur. So usually if you find a lot of sulfur, you can find silver. Interesting fact. Myself, when I made it to this point, I'd take off my jacket because I'm sweating quite a bit. Red Pine Lake is this way. Trailhead back to the truck is that way. And that way is Bird Gulch, another small lake that sits at the base of Pfeifferhorn. It's really beautiful. It's about another 1.5 miles that way. We're not going there today. We're going very far this way. But look at this pretty creek. Can you guys see how clear the water is? It's lots of water. We've had a good amount of rain, so it's good to see that. Fishermen, just in general, fisherwoman, I like seeing lots of water everywhere. I like seeing lakes full. I like seeing creeks full because it makes the fish happy. The fish need water. Water helps the world go round. Love water. I love coffee too. Sorry, water. I love coffee. It's incredible. You can kind of go either way here. Look how fast the clouds are moving. Which way do I want to go? I want to go this way. Look at all that sulfur. To be economically viable, you need a lot of silver because it's very expensive to mine for silver. Ooh, keep in mind, after that last video I showed you, the hike goes through the woods. It gets a little harder to follow, but now, see that mountain back there? That means I'm getting very close to the first lake, which sits at the base of it. Keep in mind, you might get here and see that mountain and think it's Pfeifferhorn because it's a similar shape, but it's not Pfeifferhorn. Pfeifferhorn is way up and around past it and way higher. So that's a false summit, so don't see that and get your hopes up. Learn from my mistakes. This sign, you're really close to the lake. Keep in mind, this is a watershed area. No fires, no swimming, no horses, no dogs. Beautiful. The lake's right down here. Let's see how low it is because of the drought. Cool story. It's exactly 11:30. So I started the trailhead at 10 a.m. exactly. So I'm just as good as I used to be. I'm impressed. I didn't even run, like I just had a fast hiking pace. So that is pretty cool. I'm looking at the lake, it's way low. Let me show you. Okay, Still beautiful, but when it's more full, it definitely has more of a really blue glacial color that's really pretty. But it's usually filled up to these rocks here. And that's all usually water. All water. So it's way low. I knew it would be, but dang. Okay, taking a quick little break right here. I don't feel like I need one, but it's important to stay hydrated and to eat some food for energy. So that's what I'm gonna do. I was at Whole Foods yesterday getting some stuff. I like a lot of the things they have and the quality of their food. And I found this protein bar, which sounded good. I've never tried it. Salted caramel, 20 grams of protein. Sounds good. I'll give it a try. I'll probably eat half of it now, half at the top. Then I have a bunch of like little sugary things and animal crackers to give me energy. And I have some Mtn Ops for as a reward when I get to the top. Peach and Darrow. Okay. Yep. Let me eat and drink. I'm not a protein bar person. I actually hate them. Salted caramel just sounded good to me yesterday. Salted caramel is like my favorite kind of ice cream. It is not even like believable how good this tastes, I swear. Maybe it's just me, but my first bite was so good. I usually hate these things. That's why I usually bring them, because like I have a couple bites and I'm full. I'm like, ugh, screw this. I don't want to eat this. This is so good. It's like covered in like a white chocolate. The trail is going to get consistently harder and harder to follow from here. So make sure you walk all the way around the perimeter of the lake to this big rock. It's beautiful. Beautiful place to take a break as well. That's actually called a glacial erratic because 17,000 years ago this place was a massive glacier, and when you have massive rocks like that that literally just fell from the sky, that's glacial movement. Like glaciers are the strongest force in nature. They can move the biggest rocks. So there's glacial erratics all over this canyon, which I think is really cool, but that has to be one of the prettiest and the biggest. So there's a little camp sign, because you can camp here, you just can't have fires. So past the big glacial erratic, and here you'll see the trail. The trail will cross the creek, so that's how you know you're going the right way. Here we go. Whoop. Look at all these glacial erratics. I feel like I'm in my nerdy habitat. Look at them. They're so big. So you can picture the glacier just melting, 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 melting. Fills up the basin, creates a lake. Drops these big old rocks on the way. Big old rocks. Like I said, learn from my mistakes. It's harder and harder to follow at this plate. Or you could go that way. You can see it right there. Oh, which way do I want to go? I'm probably going to go that way. Let's go that way. Well, just keep in mind, if you can tell it's a trail, you're going to go to the right place. The first time I ever hiked this was a tragedy. I'm going to tell you guys a little bit more about it later. Believe me when I said it's easy to get lost. Keep in mind, if you do stay on the right patch of pines on the edge, you'll still make it to where you need to go. But I've done this hike a million times, and now I can see that the easier trail is over there. So I'm gonna cut over this rock field somehow, because that's where you want to be. It gets pretty steep and gnarly in here. Gaining elevation. You can see the lake I was just at right there. Came this way, crossed, now up this way. Now we gotta keep going up. Beautiful. That's called Lightning Ridge. Famous ridge for mountaineers and skiers. Keep in mind, this September I will have moved to Utah 5 years ago. So I know so much about these mountains and these hikes and the names of things from hiking, snowboarding, and just from general research from being new to the area and having such a high sense of adventure and wanting to do so many things. I'm really blessed that I've hiked and fished and traveled a lot in the state since I've moved here, and I really have that go-getter attitude. I got to go do the next hike or the next summit that I've never done before. So I've done a lot of research and I know a lot of weird things. So check out that view now. Wait till you see how it changes when we get to the top, which you can't see right now. You're not gonna believe it. Okay, here's the upper lake right here. You can kind of see it. It's over here as well. Not sure if they connect or because it's so low, they might be disconnected, but oh yeah, they look disconnected. Seeing this means I need to go this way. Somewhere this way. Let's figure it out. The trail looks so gnarly from here. See that right there? Right up that chute. That is not the summit. Don't let that fool you. It's much farther, but I like to call that the first steep section. Crazy steep. Make you sick steep. Make you think, why the hell am I hiking this steep? The boulder field again, which was over there. I went up and over, and I went right back into the trees, and now you can see we have a solid trail again. My biggest advice would be, if you find yourself in that big boulder field, get out as soon as possible, because there's no trail through the boulder field. There's trails on either side that kind of cut back and forth, but you do not want to waste your energy scrambling that. You want to save your energy for a really gnarly scramble at the top where you have cliffs on both sides and you don't want your legs to be tired. So find the trail. It's going to cut this way and it's going to go up that son of a beast. I'm feeling good though. Okay, so that chute I showed you guys is right here. There's actually a pretty good trail on the ridge to the right of it. You can see I'm gaining more and more elevation. Super fun. Pretty gnarly. Once I get up there, you'll be able to see Pfeifferhorn. So get ready. Okay, I've made it to the saddle. This ridge is called Alpine Ridge. Every time you get up here, it's 3 million times more windy than it is when you're not up here. So, check out that view. That's the little cottonwood side, on the back side's big cottonwood. Over here, it's so smoky you can't really see it, but Timpanogos is way in the background. This is a good place to rehydrate, get some energy, because the gnarliest part is just ahead. There's the peak. You can finally see it. It's far away. That's why the first time I ever did this, I was like, holy cow. That was so far and gnarly, and it's still all the way over there. But I'm gonna rehydrate. It all really ends here. And this is one of those moments where you say, what did I just get myself into? So this is the hard scramble. And you go straight up, and you're at the top of Pfeifferhorn. Let's do it. I like to call this the don't slip section. Look how gnarly that is. Don't slip. Definitely don't slip. Don't slip anywhere. Don't slip. Look, way up at 11,000 feet. These are slicking lines, meaning this was at a fault surface before. That's the grinding of rock at fault surfaces, and I'm way up at 11,000 feet. Shows you how much displacement happens. It's so interesting. We're getting there. Gnarly. We made it. We survived the hardest, most gnarly part. I wish I could have shown you guys what it was really like crawling around those massive rocks with the cliffs on both sides, but my GoPro doesn't seem to work anymore. I don't know what's wrong with it. I tried to bring it, but it doesn't seem to hold a charge or charge. So, the last stretch came from over there. Woohoo! Gnarly. Hello from the top. You can see Lone Peak right there. Focus on it. Pretty ridge. Across this way you can see Big Cottonwood Twin Peaks right there. Right here you can see Superior, and let's see, Superior is right there, Monte Cristo is right next to it, this round one. That is dromedary. I might be saying that wrong. Dromedary. It's named after the hump on a camel's back. See how humpy it is. There's a really long ridge in between them that's really gnarly. I've summited most of these mountains. That's Red Top. Behind it is American Fork Twin Peaks. Right there is Snowbird's Hidden Peak, 11,000 feet. Like I said, that way is Timpanogos. Pretty cool. Beautiful up here.
I got a heart like a wheel, baby, let's go. Get in this heart like a wheel, and baby, let's roll.
Alright, YouTube, I spent enough time at the summit. It's so beautiful up here. Took a couple pictures, sat back and enjoyed the view, and it's just about time to go and hike down. We got a long ways down. Look at it up here. Is that incredible? It just shows you what a beautiful world we live in, and if you ever want to feel humbled or feel small, do a summit hike like this. It's funny, like every time I do a summit hike, I do feel humble and I do feel small and I do feel like it's a challenge, but I also feel strong. I'm like, man, that was hard, and I just crushed it every single time I do one. So, small but tough. I love it up here. I just want to give a quick intro to what I brought with me and what I have in my pack, and then I'm gonna get down. Okay, so real quick, you guys know I work with a lot of my favorite companies, outdoor companies, and get you guys discount codes so that if you want to use the same brands as me, since I'm talking about them on my YouTube, they give me discount codes for you guys. So the first one was, you guys saw me pour some Enduro into my Mtn Ops cup, which was filled with water. I haven't drank out of this water yet. I've been saving it for the top, so I'd put Enduro in it. So there's a lot in there. It's super good. Enduro's good for a lot of things: hydration, circulation. This one's peach Enduro. It tastes so good that it forces me to drink more. So that's why after going through all this and being at the top at 11,000 feet now, it's important to rehydrate yourself. So I recommend trying Enduro and putting the little trail packs with you and trying it out. It's like a better alternative, way better and healthier alternative to like a Gatorade or something like that. A lot of trail runners have different brands that they use, and it's a similar thing. I just like Mtn Ops. It's out of Utah. They have tons of really good flavors. They're super affordable. That's from mtnops.com. Next on my list, I bring a no-mess dress kit everywhere I go, strictly for emergency purposes. This is for dressing animals when you hunt them and harvest them. Obviously, if this is your first time watching my channel, you might not know I'm a hunter and fisher. That's my main reason I'm on YouTube. I also love summiting mountains. I hunt to eat, and that's what I eat all year. I don't buy any meat from the grocery store. And this is for when you get an animal, taking care of it. That's why it has latex gloves in it, long plastic sleeves, alcohol swabs, paper towel, good paper towel, electric tape, and a bunch more things, a bag to put everything in. I keep it in the bottom of my backpack because it literally weighs nothing and it has good survival purposes. So obviously I'm not hunting right here, but I still brought it with me because the alcohol swab can be used for fire. Paper towels, you can always use paper towels. You never know when you're gonna need them. electric tape and the plastic and all that, the latex, that has really good survival purposes for if you get a cut or a wound or something serious, God forbid. But that's why I carry it with me, because it has a lot of purposes past just getting a deer or an elk and taking care of it. So, and it literally weighs nothing, so it's a good peace of mind to keep that at the bottom of your bag with a lighter, and you're good to go. Let's see, oh, this is my friend's company. There's always a link below for all the brands that I use and stand by. This is my friend's brand from back in New Jersey when I snowboarded. He moved to California, I moved to Utah. He started Edible Espresso. It tastes like dark chocolate and a fresh espresso heaven in your mouth. It's so good. I'm probably gonna slip these in my pocket and eat them on the way down. They're so good. 1 cup of coffee. So the beans, this little pack of beans equals 1 cup of coffee, and there's only 121 calories in it. There's nothing bad. They're even considered vegan, I believe, like no milk in them. Really cool. So if you have a milk allergy or lactose intolerance, 150 milligrams of caffeine in there, and they contain chocolate, which we all need chocolate to survive sometimes. Dark chocolate is really good, and they taste like coffee, which coffee literally keeps me alive. It gives me a reason to wake up in the morning. Okay, last but not least, I brought my Rockagator backpack. This Rockagator sells for, I want to say somewhere around $120 at rockagator.com, but you can use Bridget20 and save 20% off, so well over $20. And there's a bunch of different pack options you can get as well. So I definitely recommend bringing that. I mean, this is a really gnarly hike, and I just use that to carry all my stuff. I didn't bring a lot of stuff with me because I wanted to minimalize. As always, just makes the hike longer, but why did I bring my Rockagator, and why do I use it literally every time I go somewhere, everywhere? Because it's waterproof. If a storm comes in, if you didn't check the weather, you didn't know, your camera, your phone, everything is safe. Your hoodie. There's nothing worse than like carrying a backpack and having everything inside get wet, and then you're cold and you don't have anything dry to put on because everything that was in your pack gets soaked. So trust me and get a waterproof pack, like not water resistant, waterproof pack. Once again, the link is to all these things below. And like I said, guys, the only reason I'm mentioning these things is the companies I work with are literally the brands I already use. So I'm just sharing them with you if it helps make your journey a little easier. And there's one more thing. Last thing, these are really good light duty hiking socks. They're called Hoof It socks. I don't have a discount code to them, but they're very, very affordable. Joel is an artist and he's the one that makes them. I'll put the information for their website below. This is a really cute girly like skull. Guys, so 5:20, I just made it down safe and sound. Remember, I started the trailhead at 10 o'clock in the morning, and I did the first 3 miles in an hour and a half. So from there on up, it gets a lot slower, a lot more gnarly. Take your time. There's absolutely no rush. I probably got a little bit of a sunglass tan. There's absolutely no rush. I find scrambles hard, and you're usually dealing with cliffy situations and exposure, so it's important to take your time. I'm also 5'2", so I'm tiny. I can't just climb around rocks so easy, like it takes my whole body space, you know, to crawl and climb around. So if you're taller, you might find this a lot easier than I do, or not, but either way, it's a great hike. I definitely recommend it. It's called Pfeifferhorn. Oh, come on, AC. It's called Pfeifferhorn. The fall is a great time to do it because it is cooler out. If you do it in the summer, you will need to wear a lot of sunscreen because you're at elevation. But I'm getting out of here. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Let me know if you've done that hike before, or if it's something you want to do or you think you'll do after this video. If it's not something you're interested in, no worries either. I just wanted to share it because I love it. I have to say, every time I do it, I realize I'm in better and better summiting shape because my legs don't even hurt. I just climbed up that beast of a mountain, gained over 5,000 feet in elevation, and my legs aren't sore at all. You'd think they'd be shaking or fatigued. I feel great. I feel ready to eat some dinner. It's dinner time. And see my cat. And yep, that's about it. And don't worry, I'm being safe. I'm not looking at my camera while I'm driving, but I'm getting off. So last but not least, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time. Please comment, give this a thumbs up if you liked it. Comment away and subscribe. Thanks for watching. That was Pfeifferhorn. Pfeifferhorn in Little Cottonwood Canyon, the Wasatch Mountains, Utah. Okay, bye.